Can we talk about executive dysfunction for a second and how overconsumption that has been brought to us by capitalism has destroyed our bodies and brains and homes and souls? This is somebody's house.
Hey guys, gonna give you a
At parents, is it normal to have these many toys around the house? Ignore the bottom right reaction. This is just a f***ing GIF because I guess TikTok is just content theft, but like truly, completely, wholly.
quick tour of my house. Here's the dining room. As you can see, it's an open floor plan. So here's the little entryway with our hall tree. And our main living room. Toys everywhere. Then our kitchen. This
Does anyone else get anxiety watching this, or this is not just me?
Counter becomes a catch-all for everything. Then the playroom, which we loved about the house, that you can still see it from upstairs with how young our kids are. We thought that was amazing. Then we're gonna go up to the top level. It is a quad level house.
They have 2 kids, just so you know.
We have an upstairs with the bedroom, the main level with the living room and kitchen, the playroom level, and then a basement underneath. Here's my daughter's room. They play in this room pretty often, so it's always a disaster. It's hard to keep on top of. My son's room, they don't play in this room too much, usually just to grab stuffies. Then the kids' bathroom, the toys on the floor from when they were playing, and the master bedroom where there are, once again, more toys. This room is a mess. It needs to be cleaned up and organized. My closet's actually not too bad, but my bathroom too needs organized. So that's all there is. Thanks, guys.
Okay, I definitely, what is there to notice? Notice anything? Yeah, I want to jump off a bridge after watching that. That's what I notice.
Make it stop.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple things. Did you see it? Question mark? Yeah, what? All the toys everywhere? Let's just talk about 2 things. Number one, okay? No one needs that many toys. There is no kid that needs that many toys. All right? I don't care what anyone says. I disagree that you need that many toys for 2 kids. Disagree. Just totally disagree. Okay? Number 2, this feels like one of those like American failing things where we don't prepare like the next generation of Americans to be adults. Like there's a failure by the parents, and then there's a failure of the state to pick up where the parents failed. A good example is like cooking. It's sad, but like there's probably a good number of people in here who don't know how to cook. And when I say don't know how to cook, I don't mean like you can't make like a great steak or like, you know, you can't do like the Michelin star onion cutting or whatever. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like Jesse, we have to cook. Just like putting a pan on the oven, or sorry, the stovetop, and cooking something. That's what I mean. I can follow a recipe. Does that count? No, that counts. I'm talking about like general comfort with like the rules of the kitchen. Like understanding that you need, if you're cooking something on a pan, you need something that will make contact and act as like a middleman between the heat and the thing that you're trying to cook, whether that's water or oil or butter. Like you can't just throw an egg down on a pan. You have to put something there first, right? I'm talking about knowing the basics, like feeling comfortable with the basics, like understanding that everything needs to get salted. There's no such thing as a food that doesn't need salt. Or like understanding how to like chop things. Right? No. Like I'm talking about basics. And there's a lot of people who don't have the basics. who like don't know anything about cooking, never had to cook, never learned to cook, their parents never taught them how to cook, and then school didn't teach them how to cook. And then it's one of those things where the longer you go not knowing, the harder and harder it looks to start. I've had so many friends where dudes who the highest level of cooking they could do was put chicken nuggets in the oven for a few minutes. Yep. Or even like food safety. Like, how are there people still washing their chicken? If there's anyone doing it, please don't wash your chicken in the sink. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait, what? Don't do that. Don't do that. You wash your vegetables. People wash their chicken. What happens? Essentially, people think that washing their chicken helps clean the chicken of like the excess chicken juices or whatever. The problem is that when you wash the chicken, you're splashing all of this like salmonella juice all over your kitchen. Like your entire sink is now like a breeding ground for salmonella. And obviously you're going to get some splashing happening. So you're also contaminating the surrounding area as well. So like, don't do that. Don't do that. I had a phase where I thought I had to wash chicken. Let's not do this. Don't worry, man. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. But just know you don't need to wash your meat. You don't. It's unless it's attached to your body, like your schmeat, you don't need to wash it. You don't. Okay? Don't need to wash your raw chicken. Don't need to wash your raw beef. You don't need to do that. Simply by cooking it, you will kill all the bacteria on there. Everything that you would have washed away, it's just cooking it takes care of that. Okay? My roommate used to wash her fruits in the sink and then wash chicken over those fruit. Stop. Stop. Stop it. They said used to because she died. No. Guys, the only thing you should do when it comes to like whether or not your food is safe is like the guidelines. Like if it's about meat, like beef, chicken, anything that came from an animal, essentially, that is a meat product from an animal, that has like an actual time that you have to eat it or freeze it. Just check the FDA guidelines. I think it's like raw chicken has like 2 or 3 days, I think. I think it's 2 days where you have to cook it before it becomes unsafe to eat. And like the smell test. I was so upset. I bought some chicken yesterday or the day before. I was so excited. I've been making this air fried honey garlic chicken and it's like super low cal and really good. And I went to the store and I bought these chicken, like these pre-cut chicken tenders because I'm a little bit lazy. It's still raw chicken, but it's just pre-cut. And I went to go and like cut open the bag and like this horrible smell just like escaped from the bag. And I look at the expiration date and the expiration date isn't for another like 3 days or something. And I like take a look into the thing and I like smell it again and it smells like raw. It smells like rotten eggs. I check Google. Google's like, if your raw chicken smells like that, it's bad. And I was like, oh man, I was so excited to eat this fucking chicken. I literally just brought it from the store. I just went to the store. I just came home ready to cook it. And I guess the store didn't store it properly. And I was so upset. I was so upset about that. Ever watch Basics with Babish? Oh my God. Well, I watched Binging with Babish. I never watched Basics with Babish. Does he have like good videos on like the very basics? I guess that's a stupid question. Don't respond to that. Don't even. this. You would
Cooking
be
is harder.
you would be surprised how many people like don't have what is it called? The basics down. And this is not me using this as like a way to judge or anything like that. Like I think this is a failure of our state and a failure of like not having home econ anymore in our classes. Like you can't just leave it up to parents to hope that they parent correctly. That's why we have school. But this is probably a good source for like a bunch of stuff. Essential kitchen tools, sauces, steak, pasta, chicken breasts that don't suck. This is probably a good basics lessons. Let's see what he talks about.
About that someone can even be yourself, cooking food and showing you now to check out what feels in your hand. You want something that's comfortable, well balanced, something that feels natural. And when you see how balanced a knife feels, you need to hold it correctly. You want to wrap your finger around one side of the knife and grip it on the other side with your thumb. Now often your
But even stuff like this, right? Like holding a knife correctly. I think that's something a lot of us take for granted. Because I know I took it for granted, and then I was cooking with someone who never held a knife before, and I was like, oh, wait, how do I hold my knife? Oh, I guess I hold it like this. It's kind of like an extension of your hand if when you hold it like this. But they were holding it like they were ready to shank someone. Like they were holding like a fucking knife fight knife. And it's like, no wonder you're struggling to cut. You're using all this force and you don't have like a good grip for like chopping. You need to put your thumb in the right place and your pointer in the right place. Now, and of course, everyone's going to hold it a little bit differently. I mean, everybody writes differently. I know I hold pencils and pens like a fucking psycho. This is going to make everybody in here hate me, but that's okay. But this is how I hold pens. This is how I write. Wee. Which is not proper writing form, by the way. Proper writing form is more like this, I've noticed. Like, I feel like all the people I know who write really well write like this, but I just rest the pen or pencil on my ring finger, and then I press down extra hard with the rest of the fingers, and this is the most comfortable. But I got like this terrible bump on my finger that's now gone away since I do so much more typing than writing. And that was like the artist bump, the classic. But it's just so comfortable to write like that. It's just like, yes. Plus my handwriting is not terrible, okay? So you guys can judge me, but I don't write like terribly. Okay? Yo, I hold like that too. It's a good way to write. It's just uncomfortable, so you shouldn't do it. But on this topic of like, dude, this house, this is another thing that I think like America has failed its people. Your parents should set you up to not have to constantly deal. Faceless snow. Your parents should not set you up to constantly deal with messes in your house. I don't feel like that's a normal way of living. I don't think man was meant to live with a bunch of garbage strewn all over the place. And there was this video I watched. Did I tell you guys I watched my first ever Marie Kondo episode for the first time? Like a month ago. It was like pretty cute. It was pretty adorable. That is like, she was adorable. That woman, Marie Kondo. But there was something I want to show you guys. No? I have to have liked the video. There's no way. There's no way. How did I... It does not spark joy. Yeah. Yes, this video. Can we watch this together? Because this changed my fucking life. And if there's anyone, can I get a show of hands? Like, one's if you feel like your house or apartment is too dirty all the time. And two's if you feel like you've got it under control and life is easy and you're built different. Or you have like a stay-at-home wife or husband. So like, it's not a problem. One, but I live with small children. Oh, I mean, yeah, if you live with kids, like, know that your life is probably going to be messy for a long time. But even with kids, when I was watching the one Marie Kondo episode that I ever watched, I realized something. What I realized was we don't teach kids to like clean up after themselves. And cleaning is kind of like low-key therapeutic. People who like dishes are fucked up though. But it's kind of like therapeutic. And you can get kids to clean up after themselves. Like you can teach them how to do it. And it feels like a lot of parents just like don't do that. Did no one learn the cleanup song? I learned the belt. I learned the you clean up after yourself or you get the belt strategy. So I know how to keep a space clean when I need to and when I have to and when I have guests and stuff. But I wanted to show you guys this. The belt song, yeah. I love those people that are like, my parents beat me and I turned out okay. You guys are just all a bunch of sissy liberals. It's like, you know, by virtue of you saying it's okay to beat kids, they didn't do a good job. You're actually not okay, actually. It's not good, actually. All you're doing is teaching that kid fear. That's it. That's all you're doing. But okay. Like, you should never be like invoking real fear in your kid. Like, that seems bad, actually. I know, crazy. I know. Insane. In preschool, I would sing the cleanup song. Clean up, everybody do your share. Clean up, clean up. I remember that song. I don't remember learning it, but I guess it's in there. This video, though. Dude, this lady is so cunt. I wanted to share this video with you guys because she's just... I'm telling you. You know how, like, there are evil names? Like, names that, like, there's an 80% chance that you're an evil person if you have that name? Like Lauren. Like, we have so many conservative Laurens. Like, Lauren Southern, Lauren Chen, Lauren something. There's also the opposite, where it's like there are names that, like, if you... Lauren Boebert, yeah. There's the opposite, where if you have a certain name... It's from Barney? Oh. I didn't know that. Caroline is, like, the opposite of that. If you meet someone named Caroline, they're based, and they're cool. We doing name profiling now? It's called rolling your stats. Okay? It's called rolling your stats. It maybe if you didn't want your kid to be evil, you shouldn't have given them the name Lauren. Okay, that's pretty simple. It's like being a dwarf, but being like a mage or using longbows. It's like, yeah, you can sheer willpower it, but like, bro, you picked that. Okay, you rolled that. That's on you, man. That's on you. Is being trans respecking? Precisely. Exactly. Megan is almost always right wing. Dude, you're so right, actually. Wow. Wait, wow. You're actually so right. If you think about it, Rachel Dolezal is kind of a respecter. Sorry to make so many jokes about that lady. I just, like, can't believe somebody actually did it. I can't believe someone actually was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend to be black. I don't want to believe that it's real. So in my head, I'm like, if I make fun of it enough times, it's not real. It can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. For anyone who doesn't know who Rachel Dolezal is, she's this lady who proclaimed herself to be transracial and like went from being white to identifying as black, I guess. And like got tans and like a perm or something. I don't know, man. I just work here. All right. She came up in the news recently again. She worked for the ACLU though, right? Did she? Big if true. This is her for anyone who hasn't seen it. Ex-NAACP leader Rachel Dolezal. I identify as Black. Request failed. I thought they said learn how to code and you would get a job, but apparently you don't even need to learn how to code and you can get a job because this was somebody's job and they didn't fucking do it. And that's why this video isn't working. Anyways, this was her before she respect and this was her after she respect. A family photo shows Dolezal's family at her wedding reception in Jackson, Mississippi. Her family is racially mixed. 4 of her adopted siblings are Black. She and her husband, Kevin, are standing between her parents. Her grandparents are at her right, and her adopted siblings are in the front row. That's crazy. She went full Get Out, dude. I didn't even know about this. I've never seen this photo. Dude, I wonder what this guy thinks. I wonder what her husband thinks. Denims, I don't see what's wrong. She just bought cosmetics from the Battle Pass, ? But does she use the N-word? Now that's a great question. That is a good question. Anyways, back to this white lady.
Okay, don't get me wrong.
Stop it.
I find this brand of medical grade Pantry Organization to be just as sexually satisfying as the next guy. Okay, I get it. I like it. However, this brand of home organization is never going to give you an organized home. Not only is it expensive, but it usually doesn't even fix the real problem. When I have an interior design client—
Wait, I'm so sorry. What? I'm sorry, what? Wait. Rachel Dolezal was in the news because of OnlyFans? Wait, warning. Images that may be disturbing. Oh, it's all censored. That's crazy, though. Okay, it's censored, so we're good. Well, let me watch it just to be 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure it's fine because, again, it's censored. Oh, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't even know that she was on OnlyFans. FR.
Making headlines once again, Rachel Dolezal, now going by Nkechi Diallo, after posting explicit photos on OnlyFans shared on public websites. A statement from the Catalina Foothills District says in part, quote, her posts are contrary to our district's use of social media by district employees policy and our staff ethics policy, then adding confirmation that she no longer works there. Parents picking up their kids at Sunrise Drive Elementary confirm they did receive an email from the district.
It's concerning to me if it's going on. I would just need to know more context about it. Initially, I would think, that it probably would not be appropriate, but, I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know.
Diallo came under
Who are these people they're interviewing?
fire back in 2014 when she was accused of misidentifying herself as Black while serving as the head of the NAACP in Spokane, Washington, before resigning amid the backlash when it came to light she is white. I went to Diallo's apartment to see if she would speak. A neighbor let my photographer and me into the complex, but a man who opened the door said she didn't live there. However, as we were driving away, we saw what we believed to be her car parked by the apartment. The license plate bears her name. News 4 Tucson's social media team also reached out to Diallo on Instagram. She read our message but did not respond.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the end.
Now this is journalism, baby. This is fucking journalism, baby. GirlyPop, there's no such thing as bad press. You literally became transracial. Like, take all the help you can get, GirlyPop. Do interviews. Leaving NBC on red is crazy. Okay, sorry. I got distracted.
As a messy home, the problem isn't usually that their M&Ms aren't color-coded. The problem is that we all have a ton of stuff, and we don't know how to get rid of it. We don't know what to get rid of, and we don't know how to arrange.
I feel like this woman is like a kindred spirit of mine. The way that her jokes The way that she does her jokes.
The things we actually keep. And you can spend all the time in the world pinning images on Pinterest and trying to design the perfect space, but if your floor is covered in clutter, then it truly doesn't make a bit of difference what rug you end up buying. I'm gonna tell you which organization products are worth getting, which are not, and more importantly, the organization design principles that will keep your home organized and running smoothly. My name is Caroline, and this is Home Organization from an interior design perspective.
She is giving kind of like mother.
Every home organization video on YouTube is pretty much telling you the same thing. Buy this, buy this, buy this hack, buy this gadget, buy this product, consume. Home organization is about more than just products and gadgets and hacks. It's about systems that make your life work better. And great home organization has to meet 3 requirements: visual declutter, ease of access, and ease of maintenance. And we're gonna get into all 3 with 10 tips to keep your home organized.
High-key, low-key, that third one is crazy. That third one is the craziest thing. It's literally Trainwreck's. She kind of ripped Trainwreck's whole bar, his whole style, everything. Verse for verse, bar for bar, because you just need systems.
Tip number 1. Corral your crap. This blows people's mind. If you're looking at your nightstand or your kitchen counter or your coffee table and you're like, ugh, it's just a lot of stuff, it's visually busy, corral it. Just place things on a tray. It will blow your mind at how quickly it solves the problem of visual declutter. And it doesn't have to be a tray. You can use a book, you can use a cutting board, you can use a stack of magazines, something that takes a bunch of...
This actually made me so mad realizing that this was real. That like putting a fucking board underneath shit.
Individual items, and then instead of 5 items, you just have 1 item. It sounds like semantics, but it makes a huge difference, and group items in groups of 3s. Even without a tray, this can make a huge impact. Varying the height of those items so they kind of become, it's kind of like Transformers or the Power Rangers, or what's the ones that they all come together and they make a new thing? Yeah, you group things.
She's so Caroline Kwan coded too, by the way.
Together in groups of 3s, they become a new item,
Robots
a single
in
item,
disguise.
and it minimizes the visual busyness. Corral. That's it. That's it.
I watched this video by myself and like the content itself isn't that interesting, but I love how she talks and I love what the examples she uses. And actually the stuff that she says is really helpful.
Tip number 2 is another gadget that I fully endorse. In fact, I insist upon it. Velvet hangers for your closet. Don't talk to me about other kind of hangers. These are the only hangers I use. Clothes never fall off the velvet hanger. Normal.
I gotta say, I just have to say, the velvet hanger thing is kind of unironically like goated. I used to buy cheap hangers always, exclusively, and I started buying velvet hangers for my pants. And I don't know how to tell you guys, my closet has been so clean for like 2 months straight. Like, and when I say clean, I don't mean clean. I mean, it is in pristine conditions. Like, you should see, I kind of even want to like low-key go and take a photo and show you guys. The difference that it makes is crazy.
Hangers, non-velvet hangers, are just another form of misogyny trying to punish women for owning camisoles. Don't let them stop you. Buy the velvet hangers. It's an investment. You invest once, you keep them forever. And yes, it's nice to just get all one kind of hanger in your closet that's already like the visual declutter satisfying. You'll feel a little bit high. But the difference is that if I fill a closet with wire hangers or plastic hook hangers and I fill a closet with velvet hangers, only the velvet hanger closet is gonna stay that way, okay? I don't have the seconds to put the spaghetti straps into the little hooks and the clip and I have a life to live. I'm a busy lady. Make it as easy as possible to get those clothes put away.
Literally, she's just like me for real. Okay, guys, I get these. I bought these on Amazon and I hang my pants with them. And I don't know how to explain how life-changing this is. If you're like, I don't need that, I just fold them. Okay, fuck you. Maybe we're not talking to you right now, huh? Did you consider that? Did you consider you're being too neurotypical in here? That's what I thought, okay? And I will just tell you, like, my life has changed having these. Like, I don't know about you guys, but what has happened for me for my entire life is that I'm like, well, I can't hang my pants because then, like, when you get the plastic hangers and you hang your pants, they like sag and they ruin the plastic hanger. And so I decided, I don't know about this socks thing. I don't know about hanging your socks. This is fucking stupid. But I would fold my pants and then stack my pants and then my skirts and my shorts. And if I wanted something that was like third down the pile, eventually I would have to pull it out and destroy everything else. And then over the course of like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, all my pants are fucked up again. And ever since doing this to all of my pants, my life has changed. My life has literally changed. Like I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. And it's not difficult either to maintain because you just take the pants off, you put the hanger in the pile of like empty hangers, and then when you do laundry, you just hang them. And you can see all of your clothes. Like, it is game changing. It's like genuinely game changing. And like they're a little expensive, I won't lie. I bought 30 hangers for $40. But I only need to make that purchase once. And like it's good material, so like it actually like will last you a long fucking time. And overall, it saves me the extra time of having to fucking clean my closet. What if I have 40 jackets that I never wear though? I would honestly vacuum seal that shit and put it in like somewhere else. Whenever I shop through stacks of clothes, I'm so neat by nature. It's like I work there. I know like how I handle and smooth. But aren't you ever in a rush? Aren't you ever in a rush? Anyways, that's a link. That's not an affiliate link or anything. I just really like these hangers.
And they'll stay put away. End of discussion. End of discussion. This is a big one. Drop zones. Creating intentional drop zones. Where are the keys going? Where's the coat going? Where's the bag going? It sounds
high key. This is the biggest thing you can do. If you are someone else, if you are also an ADHD haver, chat, go get a fucking key rack immediately. If you are someone who's constantly losing your keys, go get a fucking key rack today. Okay? Today. There's nothing stopping you guys. Here, and I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but like, I don't want to. Oh, a key bowl works too. Yeah. I like the key rack personally. But like to each their own, of course. But I will say, I use this one. And it is like high key the easiest thing to set up on the planet. Here, let me show you guys 1 sec. You don't even have to fucking screw anything in or drill any holes or anything for what I'm about to show you all. Hold up. I'm sorry, guys. This shit changed my life, and I want to change your lives. I want you guys to live better. Why is this not copy link? Copy link. Copy link. Okay. Thank you. I copied the link finally. Hold up. Wait, guys, wait. It's very important. Very important. Wow. A tutorial. Yeah, okay. This wasn't helpful at all. Anyways, sorry to bait all of you to showing you something that wasn't helpful. Basically, it's just this, it just uses command strips. And it's super broken and super OP and goated with the sauce. And I got one literally from my closet and I hang my bras from it. And it is incredible. It's so incredible. And I have one at the front of my door for my keys. Like right when I walk into my apartment. And it literally, it's the easy, it takes like 2 minutes to install. Like less than 2 minutes to install. You mean you hang your singular bra from it? Well, I technically own 2 other bras that I never wear because they're not as nice. And those also hang there. So anyways, I'm just going to say, if you guys want one, this one's only $11 and it kind of is game changing and you kind of will never lose your keys ever again. And that's a promise. That's a Hokage promise.
Simple enough. But the way you create these drop zones is extremely important. And that gets us into home organization requirement number 3. Ease of maintenance.
Oh,
and this
my
one is
bras are
the
in my
most
closet.
important, because if it's not easily maintained by everyone in the home, then it's not going to work. There's nothing more impossible than changing human behavior. It's hard to create new habits for yourself, let alone for me to create new habits for my pretend partner or my pretend kids. And if they can't uphold my new organization system, then I'm left doing it all alone. And that's not why I got pretend married. The best way to create drop zones is to watch how you, your roommates, your family, watch where you are naturally dropping your stuff when you come home. And then put the drop zones there and just make it intentional. If all the keys are always going on that table, put a freaking bowl on that table. If the coats are always going in that corner, put a hook in the corner. If the bag is always being dropped there, put a table, put a chair, put a stool. Good design and good organization systems are not about making people
key holders that prevent the keys from making noise. That's big brain.
Adhere to your system. It's about making the system adhere to the habits people already have. It's about making the system adhere to the habits people already have. That's the way they get maintained. So if we don't consider ease of maintenance, then the drop zone could easily be on the other side of the room.
I don't really like the bowl technique just because the bowl, it becomes the bowl of everything. Exactly. I totally agree, TBQH. That's why I have specifically one for keys and I have specifically one for my coats. Because I can't.
Does it take you 4 steps to get there and put your coat down? Easy access. It's not hard to access that, but it's hard to maintain it. If it's just a little inconvenient, it's not gonna happen. Tip number 4 is one of the very few home organization products that I highly recommend. You should definitely get this. There's a bunch of versions of this tiered Lazy Susan that you can get online. I got mine off Amazon. I'm using 2 of these in my tiny little linen cabinet. It holds all my toiletries, all my medical stuff, all my travel products. This product gets us into organization principle number 2. Ease of access. So yes, we want to visually declutter and we want to find a place for everything. We want everything to have a place. But if that item cannot be easily accessed when you need it, then it's...
You mean my bitch ex-wife.
It's never gonna go back there. It's never gonna go back to that place. This is why just getting a box for everything, just getting an expensive container store container for everything doesn't solve the problem. It's how you organize it. Before I bought these Lazy Susans, I had to pull out 5 drawers and a bunch of stacked shelves and I couldn't get to the things. And then not only by the time I'm going to get my tube of toothpaste, I'm furious, first of all, I'm pissed off. And it's probably not gonna get back in that place either if it's too hard and I have to pull everything apart to get it out. This tiered Lazy Susan makes so many things, so many items accessible. There's a bunch of versions of this, but this is the best version in my humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, you desperately want to grab yourself one of these. Okay. There are these drawers, this adhesive drawers. It's very easy. It's like they give you these double-sided strips and you throw them in your fucking shelves. You know the shelves that you can never reach, the shit that's in the fucking back? Do you know? Because I know, because I have them and I fucking hate them. I despise them. You fucking set this shit up and suddenly you can reach the back of the shelves now. As a tall, I can't relate. How does that have anything to do with what I'm talking about? How does being tall stop you from not being... I'm talking about the shelves that are on the very bottom. I'm talking about the shelves on the bottom that you have to, if you want like one item and it happens to have been in the back, you have to move everything else out of the way. This is some RPG level shit. Listen, man, I'm just going to say this shit changed my life. It changed my life so much. I got one for a friend and I was like, you don't understand. You don't understand. You need this. I needed this. All right. Here's like a good example of like some random ass review on Amazon of like someone using this. It's like you have those shelves in your fucking kitchen that just have so much shit in there. You can't reach it. What are they called? Oh, I don't know. Drawer shelves, something. Pull out cabinet, something. I really like them. And if anyone else in here suffers this problem and gets brain problems because of it, here. Can we talk about throwing things away? Yes. Yes. I need this for my pantry. Yes. What about when you move? Are they easy to reinstall? I mean, you just need to get more double-sided tape. You just need to peel the double-sided tape off and then just get new pieces of double-sided tape.
Opinion, because there's no wasted space. You can adjust the shelves and the shelves don't get too compartmentalized. It's one thing you have to look out for. Sometimes
as someone with long arms, it's not even necessarily about reaching it. It's about being able to see what you're reaching at. For me, it's the problem is like, you ever have like a big bottle of vinegar behind a bunch of like cans, and now you can't just take the bottle of vinegar out, even if your hand can reach it. You have to move everything that's in front of it first so that you don't knock everything over.
They get too divided and it limits what products you can put in there. It's pretty enough that you can display your makeup on it. You can display your perfumes on it. I like to just leave my perfumes out on the vanity or in the bathroom because they're little statues. They're little pieces of art themselves. So I don't really like to squirrel those away. This tiered Lazy Susan makes so many items accessible without you having to touch anything. Do it, I recommend. Tip number 5, active zones versus passive zones.
This shit low-key changed my life as well.
We gotta define them. Active zones are the areas in your home where you're moving stuff all around. You've got your entryway, maybe your living room, kitchen, stuff's coming in and out. We're dropping stuff, we're taking stuff, we're really living in those spaces. Passive zones are maybe your guest bedroom, maybe parts of your basement, maybe that, back closet we never really access. Whatever that is for you, we got to define those areas because not all...
What am I supposed to do with all the glass lids to my pots and pans? See, the solution to that is to not own any. I have one cast iron pan that I never use. I have 2 non-stick pans, which I just stack on top of each other on the stove. I have a small, it's like a 6-quart pot, I think, or like a 4-quart pot with like a lid that also stays on my stove. And then I have one like steamer that also stays on my stove top. And I just leave, I only have 4 items, 2 of which can stack on top of each other. And I just let them stay on my stovetop. And that's good enough for me. I can't have more than that. Like, that shit makes me so mad. Having like so many pots and pans. It makes me want to jump off a bridge.
All storage areas are created equal. A lot of people make the mistake of putting items that they only need to access once a month or so in an active zone. Don't put your spare light bulbs that you only need to change out once every few months in an active zone. It's just taking up space, put it in a passive zone. In your bathroom, let's say you got a bunch of shelves, that first shelf that you can easily reach without standing on your toes or pushing up on the counter or moving a bunch of stuff, that's gotta be your everyday use item. That lotion that you use every day, don't make yourself stand on your tiptoes to get it. If possible, don't make yourself do that. When you're doing that every day, you're gonna be just a little bit annoyed and it's gonna impede and slow down your I was gonna say breakfast routine. That's not the word. Your morning routine.
This is also why I have a key hook inside of my closet for my bras. And that's because it got to the point where I just started throwing my bras on the ground because I got tired of opening the drawer. This is insane, but I got tired of opening the drawer and putting it away. Because there's also a bunch of other shit in that drawer and I just got really annoyed. And sometimes your bra will like hook onto the other stuff. And I just got sick and tired of it. And I was like, you know what's really easy? Taking my bra off and just hanging it on a hook. And I can see it as soon as I walk in, and I can take it off immediately, easily, and I can put it back on immediately, easily. And it's just like making things that you use every day as easy to put away and as easy to use as possible.
Just a little bit more every time that you do that. All those little speed bumps. We got to create flow. So the everyday items, boom, 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 we can reach them. Not only is it easy to get that lotion down that you're going to use first thing every morning, but it's easier to put away.
This one is like
on that top shelf and you have to get up on your toes to put it away. Guess what? It's probably going to stay on the bathroom sink. You're buying a piece of furniture, you're buying storage items for yourself.
This one is huge.
Just give yourself a break. You make your life a little bit easier. I usually opt for the closed storage. Now there's some open shelving. It's really beautiful and nice and it looks great on the Instagram photo, but it's not usually actually great for storing stuff. We end up putting like the wooden beads on there, or we buy a vase just to go on the shelf because there's nothing we already own that we would be visually.
No, but FR, like, buy shelving space that is closed. You will thank yourself later. Because chances are it's going to start looking like shit, and then you're going to try your best to maintain it, and it's never going to be maintained. And it's so much easier to have a nice looking space if there's closed shelving.
Really happy with storing on the shelves. I don't know, it's a weird thing. That being said, open shelving can be really nice sometimes in your kitchen to break up too much cabinetry, to give the eye a break. But usually if you have open storage, open shelving, and you're really using it to store a lot of stuff, if I can afford to go the closed storage route, I do the closed storage. Give yourself a break. Put your batteries and your electronics and all that stuff in organized baskets, but then close the door so you don't have to think about it. I think that like the open shelving is great for storing things that are easy to look pretty, your glassware, your dishes, your books. But if you're getting a credenza, you're getting a sideboard or something, I would just go the closed storage route as much as you can. Just give yourself a break, yeah? You know, I don't have time to make home organization my entire identity. I don't have time to make storage containers my whole personality. So if you feel the same way, remember to like the video, subscribe for more stuff like this. It's a good time on here. I'm all about making organization or design accessible and realistic.
She's so mother.
To real people living real chaotic lives. All right.
Okay, I don't mean to alarm you guys, but the next two are like goated, and that's it for this video because it's actually kind of crazy.
Tip number 8, you want to subdivide. This is especially important for junk drawers where there's just like a ton of stuff being held. And I will say the organization product you probably don't need to invest in is a million of those clear containers from the Container Store. They're nice, but dude, they're super expensive. Even getting a bunch of them from Goodwill or a bargain store, like it's a lot of stuff and it's not necessary. In my home, I'm using shoe boxes, gift boxes to organize and compartmentalize. You can do the fancy containers. You can also get like the drawer expanders. Whichever way you want to do it, you do want to subdivide. It will make a world of difference, especially in those really cluttered storage areas where you gotta keep a ton of stuff. Tip number 9.
And like high key, she's so right though, because my tea, I have like a little tea station at my desk because I'm a sick freak or whatever. And my tea shit was just like always just shitted up. Like it was just like if I wanted a tea bag, I had to like rummage through to find one. And I got so sick and tired of it, I literally made a container for my tea. I grabbed a poster board and I taped it together to make a box just so my tea could stop looking like shit so I could easily grab it. And then this box that I made out of poster board and tape that fits perfectly in here because I measured it out. Now, when I want to grab something, when I want to grab the Nancy Reagan tea, the throat coat Nancy Reagan tea, it's easy to grab. And it was like just, I already had the poster board sitting around. Like, if you have drawers that constantly look like shit, just make some boxes and put things by categories.
9 is probably the most important one. Purge. Purge your stuff. Declutter. It doesn't matter how much you organize if at the end of the... Motorcycle, okay. Thank you. It doesn't matter how much you organize if you just have too much stuff. And if you're anything like me, you do. Most likely, the things that are overcluttering your home, you don't need. Purging your home is not just something you need to do once a spring. It needs to be an easy, light lift that you can do a little bit every week, every month. Here's some easy tips to help accomplish a declutter, a purge that's not gonna overwhelm you. Declutter for 15 minutes. Set a timer and do what you can do in 15 minutes. Put stuff in the donation pile, in the throwaway pile. 15 minutes, that's all you gotta do. I heard this from another organization YouTuber, Do It on a Dime. Check out her stuff, she's wonderful. If it takes me more than 5 minutes to tidy up any room, I need to start getting rid of some stuff. 5 minutes, it shouldn't take more than that. If it's taking you more than that.
Personally, I'm like 10, 15 minutes. Personally, but straight up, she's totally right. If it's taking you more than five minutes to clean a room, you have too much shit. And you probably have a lot of shit that you're never using or very rarely using. And you either need to go put that shit in a closet somewhere or throw some shit out, man. FR. You should check out YouTube for Gridfinity. If you have access to a 3D printer, it's the best way to organize things. High key, low key, I want to get a 3D printer, but I feel like I shouldn't. Something inside of me tells me that I shouldn't, but I have a 3D printer. It's great. High key, low key, I want to get one of these just so I can organize. I love organizing. Organizing is my personal heroine. I want to get some of this just so I can like organize my makeup stuff. Or not makeup stuff. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. My skincare routine stuff. I want to see his setup.
Analysis paralysis. In order to make my setup, all I had to do was take inventory of my existing storage and queue up a set of bins that stored the same amount of stuff. If none of my storage has a lid and it's all spread out, then finding, grabbing, and returning stuff becomes a one-step, almost instantaneous process. Yeah, and don't overthink it. If you print the wrong thing, you can just rip it out, drop in a new one, and reuse the old one in a different part of your workshop. The system can change with you, which is really great because I keep making new kinds of projects and I just straight up couldn't cram another divider satisfying, man. I'm gonna play it again just so you can watch that satisfaction. Oh, it's good shit. One more time. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. One important detail.
This is porn for me. This is definitely
all storage
porn
blocks
for me.
are entirely contained in a whole number of 42mm squares. Nothing ever pokes past the edges, so as long as you're a hair in my mouth. You can equip any configuration and they're guaranteed to be compatible. All blocks are multiples of 7mm high, so if you find mismatched heights to be irksome, you can even out any 2 storage blocks by stacking the shorter one on at the absolute most 2 divider bins. The rigid dimensions also make designing your own components super easy. Just clone the template in Fusion 360, adjust the parameters, generate some blanks, and hack the planet. But before you bust out the calipers, you should know that I got a little bit carried away and I already designed a few too many tool holders, like this one, for my calipers. Allow me to show you them. These racks hold the very common and very cheap Harbor Freight socket sets, and I think they perfectly exemplify this project's philosophy. See, the socket set already comes in its own holder, and you can get the classic Billy Club socket thingy anywhere. But both of these need you to grab the holder with one hand and yank the socket off with the other, and I want everything in my workshop to be as effortless as physically possible. In the last episode, I broke a ton of CNC bits, and I don't see any reason why that's going to change moving forward. So I took the angled tray I designed for that video and I turned it into this stackable holder for bits and protective tubes. If your 3mm tools came in these jewel cases, you can rip out the whole tool holding part and just slot it into this version. I also made some high density trays for 1/8 and 1/4 inch shank bits, which hold a lot of tools but are too tall to stack other blocks on top of. Still, they're perfect for backups in case you break many bits. Many bits. Many. If you're busting bits, you're probably going to need some collets, so I designed this tray to stash them in their little...
I'm going to come. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking print. I'm gonna fucking print. What have you done? What have you done to me? Why have you shown me this? Why have you done this to me? I found my new hyperfixation. I found my new hyperfixation. Oh God, what have you done? Oh no, I can't stop thinking about it now. Ah! It's like a cult. I know.